Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Feel Good Business. This podcast is filled with advice for aspiring and also new business owners on how you can calm your inner critic and also be 1% more productive in your business. So, to be honest with you, I don't feel good sharing that new podcast intro for me because my inner critic doesn't like it when I keep changing directions, when I keep making new decisions, or when I keep changing the focus of my podcast. My inner critic keeps telling me that I should know what I'm doing, I should get my ish together, I should be really focused. You need to know what you're doing. You need to have all your ducks in a row because you are sharing videos and podcast episodes with people and you need to know what you're doing. That's what my inner critic is telling and yapping at me right now. However, we have to be realistic that when you are running your own business, your inner critic is going to be very active, especially if you are still new or if you do not come from a family of business owners. And this whole journey is a learning journey for us. I'm going to be learning throughout this journey as much as you are, and I'm going to share with you how I calm my inner critic or dial down my inner critic just a bit so I can be productive. I think this is something we should also do instead of just learning how to do business strategies and funnels and all that. We should also know how to handle our inner critic. I don't like to use the term silence your inner critic because our inner critic is there for a reason, but just calm it down and dial down a little bit, especially when we have things to get done. So, anyway, like I mentioned, it feels difficult for me to say that new podcast intro. In the past, I used to focus on sharing tips on how you can run your business with ease, but now I am changing my podcast focus just a little bit more on silencing or calming your inner critic. And my inner critic doesn't like to be seen as inconsistent or flaky or unreliable because these traits have been drilled in my psyche as very quote unquote undesirable, very not disciplined. Um, these are the traits of people who don't know what they're doing. That's been drilled in my psyche for a long time. So my mind is yapping right now very actively. And to be honest, the podcast focus change is so minor, but my inner critic doesn't like it at all. I'm sharing and being real with you about what is happening right now. At the same time, it also keeps telling me that you should be more decisive, more sure of yourself, and changing your mind too many times is not a good thing. That's what my inner critic likes to say to me. I'm not sure what your inner critic likes to say to you, but you may have the same train of thought as well, and this may be relatable to you. And clearly, all these thoughts are putting too much pressure on myself and also on yourself if you are experiencing the same thing. This is very, very stressful. And if you are indulging in this kind of high pressure, you are going to be leading yourself to burnout. So if you are running a business or just starting out and you've been burning out too often, more often than you want, perhaps you may be putting too much pressure on yourself. All right, so let's share some things that I would do to dull down my inner critic and reduce the pressure on myself when I'm running my business. One thing I tell myself when my inner critic is putting too much pressure is that I have to be kind to myself and let myself explore and not take things too seriously. We cannot be so upright, so sure of ourselves all the time. And we cannot keep beating ourselves up whenever we make changes. That's just too much pressure. I don't think there are many business owners out there or coaches out there who can stick to one topic or one niche or one topic, one niche or one expertise for many years. I can name a few, but there are not that many. I have seen many online business owners pivot over the years. They burn down their businesses entirely and set up something new. Some have more offerings, some change their focus. Whatever it is, people tend to pivot a lot. Very, very few coaches focus on just one thing for 10 years, 5 years, and more. So just be kind to yourself. If you are someone who keeps beating yourself up and telling yourself that you cannot be making too many changes in your business, I just want you to be a bit more self compassionate and remind yourself that business is a journey. And if you do not come from a family of business owners or if it's something that you need to learn, as you go. It's not something that comes to you naturally. Then give yourself some grace to learn. At the same time, I also want to be practical and tell you not to spend too long being a perfectionist or perfecting your courses, perfecting your branding and all that. Focus on creating a good product and then work on your marketing and all that. Anyway, that's my viewpoint of it. This reminds me of my business mentor. I guess that's what I call her right now. And she just shared with us that if you are the same person as you were 5 years ago in business, then it's not healthy. That's what she's hinting at. She said we should be evolving. So if 5 years ago you were this business person focusing on this product and this niche, and 5 years later, there has not been much of a change and your income has been dipping, for example, and you don't make any changes, that is not a healthy trend to follow. It's okay to be changed. It's okay to make changes in your business as long as you are learning along the way and as long as you are kind to yourself and know that this is part of the journey. If you are in this stage where you are also indecisive, your mind may bite you back and tell you that you should make a decision fast. You shouldn't be taking too long to make decisions. So if you have an inner critic like that, it's going to tell you these things. I would love to balance practicality as well as being aligned in your business. So I would also say that don't take too long to make a decision, because in business, taking action is very important. So the more action you take, the more things you learn, the more new things you try, the more you learn. The faster you try new things, the faster you learn. Sometimes we do need to stew and think about our decisions to make sure that we make the right decisions in our business, but don't take too long. Don't take months to make a small decision. That's what I'm trying to say. And this is advice that I'm also applying to myself because I am an overthinker. So this is something I'm applying and trying to reduce. I just want to tell you that it's okay to be in between decisions. It's okay for you not to know your direction too clearly yet. Maybe you can see a vague staircase or a vague path of where your business is going, but you don't have a super clear path. You can take one step at a time and see where that leads you. Just take one aligned step at a time. It will take some time and lots of experimentation before your business path becomes clear. So that's why I mentioned that taking action fast, trying new things fast is the fastest way for you to be really clear on your business path. This reminds me of an all or nothing coaching tool, which I have in my blog. You can download it for free. It helps your coaching clients to reduce their anxiety when they put too much pressure on themselves. So it's called Overcome Your All or Nothing Thinking Tool. I believe that's what it's called. So I'm going to link that in my description box. If you are a coach and you want to share that with your audience, you want to use it as a lead magnet to grow your email list. And yeah, I hope that's helpful. Another reason why you don't have to put yourself under too much pressure when you're running your business is that no one is expecting perfection out of you. I hope no one is expecting perfection out of you. Your clients or your audience are not expecting you to be this perfect person who has everything, who has all her ducks in a row and has everything organized and has everything perfect for her and who has achieved all the goals and has achieved all the things on her vision board and all that. Unless you are someone who's positioning yourself as an expert or as a guru, chances are they are not expecting perfection out of you. So if you feel that there is a pressure for you to have your life together before you create content for your audience, you may want to change your positioning if you feel that there is too much pressure in that positioning as an expert. You can always change your positioning to someone who is sharing her journey instead of someone who knows all the answers. If you're comfortable with changing your or tweaking your positioning a little bit to take the pressure off, you can do that. Personally, for me, I am quite comfortable with being a quote unquote expert when it comes to personal development. But that's because I was a counselor for years in the past and I've enriched myself with personal development books, courses, audiobooks, whatever you name it, for decades. That's why I am comfortable being seen as a casual expert. I'm comfortable being a casual expert because I can get a feel of what works for people in general. But that's because of my experience and the time and hours and energy that I pour into this industry. You can also position yourself as someone who is sharing her journey. There are many coaches who do that. If you look on YouTube, on Spotify, whatever it is, you may find many coaches who are learning their way through life and they're sharing that story with people and people love it. It's more relatable and it makes them seem a bit more vulnerable and likable. Although I mentioned that I'm comfortable being seen as a casual expert, I'm also trying to change my positioning just a little because even though I'm quite comfortable talking about personal development topics, I am not an expert when it comes to running an online business. I am still a novice. If you are watching this and you're new, I'm still learning just like you. So I'm trying to tweak my positioning as someone who is sharing her journey. I have this inner critic in my mind where I don't like showing vulnerability. It is something I have to work on. I don't like it, but I want to also stretch my comfort zone a little, stretch my mindset boundaries a little bit, and see where this goes. So I will be showing more quote unquote vulnerable behind the scenes stories of my business, and I'm still in between decisions about how I want to expand my business and what offers to create. There's still things that are at the back of my mind, many things which are not settled yet. So not everything is perfect. And I'm sharing that with you. And I want to share this quote which came to me yesterday. Your inner critic is going to judge you more than people outside are. You are probably harsher on yourself than other people are harsher on you. So do not put that kind of pressure on yourself. This reminds me of a done for you workshop that I have in my shop. It's called Overcome Stress Workshop, which you can conduct with your clients and share with your clients. If you are a coach and you want to conduct a workshop about overcoming stress and preventing burnout, you will like that done for you course that I have. So I'm going to link the product in my description box so you can launch your own workshop on Zoom, for example, and you can sell the replays over and over again. I have the slides done for you, I have the workbook done for you, and the script is also done for you. All you need is just switch on Zoom. If you have a coaching membership, that workshop can be content for your coaching membership. If you want a free overcome all or nothing thinking tool to use as a lead magnet to grow your email list, you can download that in my description box. And I hope this episode has been helpful for you, and I will see you in my next episode. Goodbye.